Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to another wonderful episode of 15 Minutes of Fame, where we bring industry professionals right to your home where they share their journey with us. So, our guest tonight is Miss Donna Bost White, one of my classmates from High School of Performing Arts. Welcome, Donna.
Hey, thank you, Dawn.
Yes, we finally made it.
Here we are.
Here we are. I'm so excited.
Me too.
It's been forever.
Yes.
Like for real.
Yes, indeed. Forever.
So where have you been? What have you been doing? I know that the last time I remember before you became a project manager, you were heavily into the art administration. And that's what this show
Absolutely.
pretty much is about. This is a bridge on how you were a dancer, you went into arts administration, and then you branched out to other things. And this is a
That's right.
great way to show how you don't have to be on
No,
one plane. You can grow and
no,
go and
not
do
at
different
all.
things.
That's
Yeah.
right.
So
That's
let's get
right.
started. So what,
Sure.
oh, the first question I always ask all my guests is who
Okay.
is Donna Bosthwaite?
Okay. Well, first, I'm a child of God,
Amen.
and I'm a daughter and a mother, a wife, a sister, a auntie, and a person who has dance in my heart. But professionally,
Mhm.
I am a project manager and an administrator, and I own a small company. So I do a lot of things.
Yes. Yeah, and
I'm
I
a
can't,
busy bee. I
you are
stay
a busy
busy.
bee. And I'm glad that
Yes.
you mentioned that. I want you to share also how you schedule all those things, how you prioritize. So because it
See,
might help someone. Okay.
keep moving.
So we met each other through dance, right? That
Yes,
was our thing.
that's right.
But I never knew your backstory as to how you even
Okay.
got started and all of that. So how did you get started in dance?
It was my parents. And this may sound familiar, but they took me to a James Brown concert when I was about 3.
Oh,
They put me down because I kept moving. And my father noticed that I always moved when music was playing. And they put me down and I started dancing. And the audience was like, look at that little girl dance. And my father said, maybe we have something here. So
yes.
he and my aunt got together and found the Harlem School of Arts. I was living in Inwood at the time,
Okay.
Indictment area. And they enrolled me in the Harlem School of Arts. And I started out like most people in pre-ballet
Hmm.
and moving around and getting a sense of your body. And then after that, I quickly went into modern dance.
Hmm.
And I
Okay.
stuck with that for a while at Harlem School of the Arts.
Okay. So very good. So is it from there? Is that where you learned about High School of Performing Arts?
No, 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 no.
Oh,
We moved to Queens. I briefly went to another dance school there. Before that, I also went to Henry Street Settlement for several years since I was always in LES downtown with my grandparents. So
okay.
I would study at Harlem at the Henry Street Settlement for several years. And then when we moved to Queens, I went to school there. And while I was there
Mm-hmm.
studying modern dance, and then I started some ballet and doing other forms of dance, that's when in high school, in junior high school,
Hmm.
I found a book. I was like, I need to get out of Queens. I want to go back to Manhattan. How do I
Okay.
do that? And I want
Okay.
to dance. So I found a book, went to my guidance counselor, found PA, and I started my process to apply on my own. And no one else in my junior high school had ever entered
Hmm.
PA before. And I had some detractors. I had a vice principal. My parents had to go in and talk to him because he said, well, we've never had anyone get into PA before from the school, but we have this young lady here who we think is going to make it. Are you sure you want to do this? And my parents said, she's doing it and she will get in.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you very
And
much.
sometimes people
Mm.
are not always positive, and there are probably many different reasons why he said that and why he picked out the other young lady that they supported. But I was the first and the only person to get into
Okay.
PA from that junior high school.
Okay.
And teachers would come around and say, "Oh, we're not supposed to say anything, but
You
we're so
got it.
happy for you.
Oh,
You
you're
got
so
it. This
oh,
is what you wanted." Yeah.
wow. So you just
So
knew right
this
then,
is
like part of your character right there. I'm strong-minded. I know what I want. I want to take the initiative, and you have great follow through. Look at you.
yes. I'm scared, but I'm going to do
Right.
it.
So most people that I had on the show said they saw the movie Fame or something like that, and you just
I found it in
researched
a
it on your
book.
own in a
I
book.
didn't see the movie until after we were accepted, probably the summer before we started.
Mm-hmm.
I was in Virginia with my aunts and it came on television. And I became scared again.
Right? Because
Oh,
Debbie
that
Allen scared
dancing
you,
girl.
right? Debbie Allen was like,
But I was excited. I was like, that's for me. Fabulous dancers, but I wanted to experience that.
okay.
So
So,
very, very happy about that.
yeah, so that's where we met. And
That's right.
now let's skip right through quickly. Let's go to junior year in high school. So junior year is about the time when people are getting ready for the SATs and deciding whether or not they're going to go to college or dance professionally.
That's
What was
right.
your chosen route? What did you decide to do from junior year through freshman year of college?
Well, that's when the change happened. As a matter of fact, I was a scholarship student at the Graham School,
Okay.
and I call it the incident. There was a Saturday when we were there all day as a scholarship student, one of the many days because we were there. I was there every day, 6 days a week.
Wow.
And the company was on tour in Europe. And all of a sudden, the tour stopped and the company was back. And everyone was running around going, what happened? Why are they here? So at this point, I'm concerned. Here I am working in the studio, all of that. And I see these people that I admire. All of a sudden, the tour stopped. So I wanted to know what was happening. I went into the office. What's going on? Who's running this place? How could this happen?
Donna.
How? This is the Graham Company. How could this happen? Of course, they sent me back to the studio. Child, little
Right.
girl, go back. This is none of your concern. Go
Right.
back into the. That was the moment I decided I
that.
don't want to dance.
Oh. Mm.
I want to know who is in charge because this is show business. Who's in charge of the business? I want to know who's behind the scenes. Who allowed this to happen?
Wow.
If this is happening to the Graham Company, imagine what's happening to all the other smaller companies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh. So then that's when I made the decision. I went to Mickey Mathesius, our dance director.
Yeah.
I said, I love to dance. Dance is in my heart and I will always love dance, but I have a new path. I want to understand how is this orchestrated? What's happening behind the scenes? Who's signing the contracts? Who's reviewing the contracts? Who makes the decisions? Or what happens that a situation like that would happen? So that's the day I made that decision on that Saturday.
Now, I'm interested to know what was her reaction. Was it similar to your junior high school counselor where, oh, Donna, you don't want to go that route. It's heavy or it's hard. Like, what was her reaction?
She thought it was a unique perspective for someone who was at the level that we were dancing in junior year. I mean, at Graham, I was in level 4. That was the highest level. I took class every afternoon with all the pre-professionals, the folks who were in the second company. No. And she was very supportive and helped me get an internship with Dance Theater Workshop. And that's where it started.
Wow.
So instead of I still went to Graham. I love to dance. So I still went to Graham, but I found time to schedule in my internship.
Wow. So you started interning in 11th grade or 12th grade?
Yes.
Wow. So you had your dance classes all day at LaGuardia.
Yes.
Then you would get out around 3, run to Graham, take your
Yes.
classes, and then run someplace else and do an internship?
Sometimes, or I would take certain days. I asked them at Graham if I could go to DTW because I explained to them what I was interested in. I wanted to keep
Okay.
my scholarship and
Hmm.
maintain that, but I would take 1 or 2 days to go to DTW and
Okay.
work there.
Wow. And I never knew that, Donna. Wow. Okay. All right. So now we're in senior year. We're graduating. Some people are like,
Yes.
yay, I got into Ailey too. Some people are like, yay, I got into such and such. What does Donna do after high school?
Well, I knew I wanted to understand business. So I tried to find the schools, the colleges that would give me both. I still wanted to physically dance. I still wanted to dance. So I had to find a school that had both where I could get a degree in dance or at least take a lot of dance classes and I could receive a business degree. So at first I was going to go to Marymount Manhattan and I was going to continue at Graham and go there. Then because I didn't know much about what was happening with colleges, my father went to school in the South and this all was very different. So I was the first and I didn't know much and I missed this deadline and I missed that deadline. And it was, oh, you owe $1 million in 3 days. Uh-oh. So I actually couldn't start.
Wow.
So I had a new problem. I had to figure it out.
Okay.
And I worked. And then it was a rude awakening. This is what the world is like.
Okay.
What do I want to do? I continued with my internship. I worked where I could, tried to find a job, but I found another school. I found SUNY Old Westbury in Long Island. And my mother found it. She said, I think this school has both. They have both dance and business. And it was one of the few schools that had that. There were no arts administration programs at the time. They exist now all over the place. But back then, they did not exist. Joan Jeffrey had something that she was developing. It wasn't, you could not receive a degree in arts administration. You could take a few courses. They were still putting it together because I called Columbia and I said, I heard you had a program. They were like, it's really not a program yet. We're piecing it together. So I said, okay, I'll go to Old Westbury and get my business degree and continue with dance in the best way that I can. And that's what I did. So I didn't really start school in a traditional manner. Sure. I started school in the spring semester, but it worked out.
Okay. So now you're there and you have your business degree and you end up getting your arts administration degree as well.
Well, I have a business degree. And then because I took all of the dance classes that were available,
yes,
they said, if you stay an extra semester, you can probably get a degree in dance. All you need is your capstone and take a few of these other courses. So I stayed and I graduated with a business degree and a dance degree.
That's crazy. And that's awesome. That's glory to God. I mean, the initiative that you took, and this was the first year that they actually were able to do both for you. You were the graduating class. Wow. Okay.
I think so.
So now you've graduated, you have 2 degrees. Where do you go now? What's your first job? You're here to conquer. I'm here to help. I'm going to save Graham. So what was your first job after college?
My first job after college, I was the managing director of a small dance company, modern dance company in Soho, and they had a dance studio and they were involved in arts education. It was called Dance Mirage. And that was my first job after college. So I actually managed a small dance company, which is right out of school.
Right out of school. Under 25.
Well, it was a few months, but
wow, that's amazing.
Within about 6 months.
Okay, so when you're in charge of that, who's in charge of funding? So you have to hire someone, a fundraiser, or do you have to do all of that? What was your?
I'm involved in all of it. Okay. Fundraising, booking, helping with the dance studio, all of it.
Taking dance, teaching. Were you teaching too?
Not until later.
Oh, wow.
I did briefly in one of the after school programs, but no, we would hire
Right.
people to teach. I know what I'm looking for, but I didn't want to teach. So
Okay.
I
So
would hire others.
Small company. About how long did you stay before you found that you were transitioning again to something else?
I was probably there 2 years because I got married. So I needed to make some other changes, but
Mm-hmm.
it was about 2 years. And
Mm-hmm.
that was a great experience learning how to book a dance company. Do you want to book this company? Understanding that work
Okay.
that
So let's stop there for a minute. Let's help educate people about the
sure.
booking process. Explain to us
Yes.
how that
Oh,
works.
yes. Well, the term booking means getting a job. And for a dance company, you want to secure and ask a presenter to hire your dance company to come in and perform for a certain amount of time, one night, a week, a weekend. So there's a whole process of the way dance companies present themselves so that they go out and get presenters to present them at their facilities. And some people self-present, where a lot of them put on performances once a year, their season, and they may self-present, but most people and most companies are looking for someone to book them. So that was one of the first times I attended APAC.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a great experience to learn about booking, not just dance, but everything. And to hear presenters walk past and say, well, we don't book modern dance.
Yeah.
What
I
does
was
that
going to
mean?
ask you that too. How many no's to a yes did you get? Like,
Oh, you get lots of no's. You
Mhm.
get lots of no's, but you're talking about presenters from all over the world. So sometimes they know what they need, they know what they want, and you need to try and sell it to them. And there were some yeses and there were some no's, but
So
you
give
go
me
out and
3 reasons why someone would not want to book a modern company that you've heard of. Like, what
oh,
reasons would they say?
we're from
Oh,
X, Y,
that
and Z
happens all the
town.
time. Sorry, guys. Go ahead.
We're from X, Y, and Z town, and we only book the Nutcracker. Modern dance doesn't work here.
Yeah.
Our people, they don't like it. They don't know what it is. We're talking a long time ago, probably in the
Sure.
early 90s. So there was
Okay.
still a lot of people, a lot of presenters who were afraid of modern dance, or they didn't really understand what it meant. So they would say Nutcracker, or we have our local folks who present Nutcracker. Our audiences only understand ballet and we're not interested in exposing them to something new. And it's risky.
Yeah. Guys, I'm sorry. Donna. Okay, so carry on. So then what was your biggest job yet? Because I remember when you worked at a big job. I'm not going to say the name of it. I'm going to let you say.
I've been fortunate.
Yeah.
I've worked at a lot of large companies.
Okay, so go
small
ahead.
companies.
Tell us all that you've done, Miss Ma'am Pam.
I've worked for Arts Connection, doing arts education work. I worked at Alvin Ailey. I was one of their first arts and education coordinators. I worked at NJPAC for about 15 years. I've worked at Juilliard. I've worked at a lot of.
I didn't know you worked at Juilliard. Wow.
Yes, briefly.
So let me ask you, did you ever, now that you have all that information, did you ever think, because I know that you did say that you're in business now for yourself,
Yes.
but the business that you're in is not the route that you were taking all those years. It's a little different. Did you? Oh.
It's connected.
Okay.
It's
so
connected.
Explain.
Because the original premise of Arts Service Agency was to service the arts, recreation, culture, and humanities.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's such a need for small companies, whether it's dance companies, small nonprofits, individual artists, human service agencies, daycare centers, community centers. They usually need help. They usually need someone who can help them with fundraising, someone who can help them organize an event, organize a workshop, book an artist, book other presenters, help them organize their work, how they work. Everyone has a different need. So the thought process was to offer not just my expertise, but others to assist people. People need help. So it's really about still along the lines of helping.
Okay. And everyone, everyone needs, I need help. I need help, Donna. Donna, you want to help?
We all need help,
I know.
especially in COVID.
So, okay. So when you were at, let's say, NJPAC, what were like the biggest acts? What was your budget like? Like, what was that about? Because I know that's a huge facility and you were in charge of
Yes.
art. So give me like
Well,
the biggest name and like what was the biggest budget for that?
okay, I was not necessarily responsible for presenting the large acts. I was the director of arts education, and I focused on working with schools,
Okay.
families, and children. Did we book? Yes, we had a very robust school time series. So we would book Queen Latifah. We would have Faith Evans and other folks come in and work with students or present to students. But a lot of it was focusing on local artists who could work with children on a regular basis. And that all started back when I was with Ailey, and Ailey was part of that. And then it grew into something else.
Okay, so now let's talk about what you're doing now. So now you're like, I've done it all. I've worked for everyone else. Now it's my time. So what is the name of your company and tell us about it?
Yes, our service agency is focused on providing the help. Like I said,
the name of your agency. I'm sorry.
Yes, Arch Service Agency.
Okay.
So I spend time working with people to assist in any way that I can, whether they need someone to write a grant for them, or if they need assistance with organizing an event. Some of the same things I was saying before. Everyone needs help in different ways. But it's great because I'm able to use all of my different skill sets and all the things that I've learned over the years, whether as a dancer, a project manager, you can bring it all together and then you help people in the end. And that's what's important.
Okay, so you have under your umbrella, it's yourself.
Yes.
And do you have a fundraiser person? Do you have an event marketing?
I do a lot of that. I do a lot of that.
So you're still doing it all still. Wow.
I do. I
How
have
do you have time? Let's talk about that. You already said I'm a mom, I'm a sister, so let's talk about how you navigate through the week with all your workloads. How do you prioritize?
Yes, it's difficult. And we do need to prioritize. So I'm still doing some project management work for a company that I do that on a regular basis every day, Monday through Friday.
Okay.
And then I work on my arch work.
Okay.
When I'm not working on the other project management work.
And you also, we didn't mention though, back in, I don't know exactly if you did grad chapter or not, but you are a member of a sorority. You want to talk about that?
Yes, I'm a proud member of Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated. Absolutely.
Okay. And then you still have to do outings with them and events with them. And
absolutely. I'm involved in the Brooklyn chapter, Eta Nu Sigma, and we are very, very active all around Brooklyn and Queens. So there's always work to do there as well. Continuing.
Do you ever work with people outside of the New Jersey, New York area? Or do you keep
sometimes everything? Not a lot.
Not a lot.
Yeah.
Because I know this person named Dawn Stewart Branch that needs so much help. And I was just wondering if we could just figure something out.
We can figure something out.
On tape. We got her on tape. You are so seasoned, Donna. I mean, I can just imagine you building relationships. The relationships that you must have throughout all of these years are incredible. Can you talk about anyone that you helped bring up, and then they helped you get a gig, like the networking and stuff like that, and just how that all merges? Or does that not happen, or you're not supposed to mix that?
No, it happens. It happens. Because I was in arts education for a very long time, I've been fortunate to work with a lot of local artists.
Okay.
And a lot of times, a lot of artists, if they don't have gigs, becoming a teaching artist is a great opportunity for them to generate funds, work during the day, and they can still gig at night and on the weekends and do what they need to do. So, and at the same time, they can share their gifts, continue to hone their skills because they're teaching in their craft. So working with a plethora of artists of all sorts, the Arthur Wilsons, the Rodney Gilberts, the Marie Thomases, all those kind of people. It's just fabulous the way in which Karen Love, there are so many people who I've been able to work with and to watch them grow as teaching artists. And then I grow because I learn. If I'm in the school, if I'm at an event, I have class too.
Yeah.
Same thing when I was at Ailey, doing the master classes, and I go around with Dudley Williams, the late great, and to get that, I'm still taking it in.
Yes.
And sometimes I have, if I'm lucky, I can take class. And back then, before any injuries or anything, I did, and it was fantastic. Such a wonderful, wonderful,
now,
wonderful.
Do you have
experience.
a mentorship program?
Do I have a mentorship program
within your company?
I should.
You should.
I should.
See how this is so good? We're just helping each other. Yes, I think that'll be excellent. A lot of the people that watch my show are young artists looking to go into the business. And it's so important for them to know what that business is. So is there anything, any advice that you can give for the working dance artist or any kind of musician or whatever, and then advice for anyone looking to go into the business side?
Remember that this is show business. And business is key. Hone your craft, but understand what you're signing. Understand what you've agreed to. Understand when you will be paid and how you will be paid. Every circumstance is different. Every situation is different. So it's very, very important to understand the business aspect of what you're doing. It's different than most people's jobs because you work several jobs. You may work with this company, you may get a job on this television show, you may get a job over here and another job there. So you need to manage your finances differently than someone who's a salaried worker and they get paid every 2 weeks and this is how much money they make. So you need to understand your taxes. How do you pay your taxes? Do you pay your taxes? So that's very important. I've dealt with artists and I've seen people who said, oh, I need that $75 right now for rent. Well, how are you working with your finances? If you work for an arts organization or a nonprofit, so if someone's missing, you may not get that check on time. It may come 2 or 3 weeks later. So you may need to plan out your finance.
With your company, would a regular person, not a company, a person, can they sign up with you and you actually help individuals as opposed to corporations?
Absolutely. I work with individual artists. I work with individuals. There was one lady I worked with, she wanted to put on an event. It was health related. Someone had cancer and she wanted a huge event around supporting this individual. And she was developing a company of her own. And I worked with her on that. So everyone has a different need.
Okay. So that's advice for the artist. Now, let's have some advice for someone looking to go right into the business side of it. What should they be reading now? What should they be looking for now? What skills should they know on the computer?
Well, you definitely need to be computer savvy and stay on top of all of the new platforms. Of course, you will need Microsoft Office so that you can present information, share information. These days, there are arts administration courses and degrees that are available. So you can go to school to learn this information as well. You should continue to work on your craft because a big part of being in arts administration is having that connection.
Yeah.
as much as possible. There are books now coming out on arts administration. There are many more than there were in the past, so they are readily available. I would check the Kennedy Center and Arts Edge. There are a lot of resources that are available in arts administration, arts education.
Okay, so it's coming around for internship for the summer. You're going to get a lot of kids coming out. If anyone wanted to intern with you to learn from the master, could you please give us your contact information, and I'll put that up so that you can get a slew of young, vibrant young people looking with questions to ask you and harass
Oh,
you.
sure. I'm willing to answer questions. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So how does anyone get in contact with you? What is your contact information?
I can provide my email address, donna@artserviceagency.com. They can call.
Okay.
Very old school. I have a phone number here and I can share it with you to put on the screen. It's 908-926-6441. And I'd love to talk to people. I would love sharing my experience with others. Absolutely.
This is awesome, Donna. Is there anything else that we left out that you feel will be helpful to someone?
Well, it's very important to work from your heart and understand what's important to you, and move in that direction, and to have self-awareness and a willingness to take in new information and go in a new direction. Sometimes God is ready to take you over here and you're so busy looking over there that he has something for you right here and you're not paying attention. So making sure that you are open and ready to receive the blessings that are there for you.
Amen.
Everywhere, not just in your art, in life. And that's difficult. We are human.
Right, right. And you have a lot of hats. I don't know, you might be half human, half God, half robot. I couldn't do it, Donna. But you were always very scholastic in school. Like you were like straight A's and just very focused. You say no, but I say,
Yes. Yes.
You're amazing. You had such a wonderful career. I am very, very proud of you. I'm proud to call you my friend.
Yes, you're my friend.
I know. And I just hope that we can continue this and build and work together doing other projects, whatever.
I would love that. And I'm so proud of you because you were always such a beautiful dancer.
Thank you,
a
Donna.
Beautiful person.
Aww.
Well, let's just call it, you were fierce, okay?
Oh, thank you.
You used to bring it in class all the time, and I would enjoy watching you. You're a beautiful dancer, and I love your choreography and how you've expanded, and now you're just on fire and
doing something totally different, nothing to do with choreography. It's so funny. I know, it is what it is. But I'm having a ball, Donna, because I just love to give and I like to share and help people just like you.
That's right.
So I want to bring all of my fabulous people here so that people know what y'all are doing and connect. But before I let you go, you had some pictures of some of our friends from high school. They're going to kill us.
This was funny. They're going to kill us. Well, you can't really see too many faces, so that's good.
Okay.
There's one from dance class, but this is one of...
I hope I'm not in that one. Oh,
I think you are.
You said that's Oswald. Like, can you point?
Oswald and Holly's in there.
Wow.
Cynthia
I got to get Holly on the show.
This is the LaGuardia cafeteria.
That's the cafeteria. Wow. Memories. And you have another one? No, that was it.
No, I think that's
okay.
The one I have.
And I have to get Oswald back on the show, and then we got to get Miss Holly back on the show.
Yes.
She's amazing.
Amazing.
Donna, it was great seeing you. I can't wait to continue to work with you. I want to bring you back on when we do Business Street with Erica, and we'll take it from there.
The diva.
Huh?
I said the diva. She's fantastic.
Yes, Miss Erica. Love you. Mean it. Give your email one more time.
Donna at artserviceagency.com.
Amen. And I love you. I mean it. Everybody, Donna Bost White, Arts Administration Project Manager. Very proud of you. Thank you.